What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how to take a preliminary pencil drawing to a finished product drawing using the brush tool and Symmetry in Photoshop. Check it out. I'm going to show you another method here using the brush tool. First thing I'm going to do is go to my brush and do some settings, okay? You want to make sure that you have the hard, round brush. You see here, it's not tapered. So it doesn't even matter that I'm using my stylus. It's going to ignore pen pressure altogether. If you come over here and you look at the brush tools, you can see there's no taper. None of these things are selected, and that's what you want. Okay, nice, thick, bold, line. Okay, so you have this cool, I don't know, is this a phoenix? I feel like it's a phoenix.
Yeah, it's a phoenix.
Sweet. Love it when I get my nerddom right. You also want to make sure the opacity is 100%. You see I had it at like 90. That means it would have been like a not purely black line. So make sure it's 100%. Now, this is a symmetrical design, meaning that the left is identical to the right. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so rather than draw both sides of this, we're going to speed up this a bit. We're going to use this tool right up here. It looks like a butterfly, and it's called Symmetry. Okay, and we're going to put it on vertical symmetry, and it gives you a line. Now you can move that wherever you want. I'm going to move it right to the center of our phoenix here. Okay, so now I can go back to the brush tool, and let's begin. Now, with the brush tool on, you can draw lines lots of ways. You can freehand them, which you can see now it's showing up on this side, which is pretty badass, isn't it? You can try to make a straight line, but it's hard because you're going to wobble a little bit. Okay, but there's in Photoshop you can use the Shift key to snap straight lines, and since our brush is set up to not have any taper on it whatsoever, it won't get smaller or bigger. So I will start with a standard size line. That seems like a decently, I'm gonna go a little bit thicker because you want to make sure to set the thickness kind of where you want it before you start on a section. Otherwise you have to just go back over the whole thing. That seems like a good thickness right there. All right, so I'm just going to start like on this wing and start going around, and I'm going to click. You see the dot there, and then I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to click here, and then here. I'm continuing to hold down Shift. Okay. Not exactly sure if there's supposed to be a gap, but this is your design, so you'll know. So I'm still holding down the Shift key. And I'm going to stop right there. Now I can come back up here, click here again, and then hold down Shift again, and come in here. And maybe I'll do the head as well, at least the main parts. Maybe I'll go a touch smaller. No. Now, something to keep in mind, I'm using the bracket keys, which is right next to the letter P on the keyboard, to the right of the letter P. And up in the upper, right there, you can, the one on the left, sorry, you'll see it's at 15, but when I go bracket down, it will jump to 10. Well, that might be too much. Maybe I want it to be 12, 13. In that particular case, if you just right click, you can type it in here. So I'm going to have it be 12. And now I'm going to hold Shift. Now, are these supposed to connect, or because they're just a couple of dashes?
Yeah, they're just supposed to be dashes. They're not really, I'm kind of trying to give it almost a like feathery, fiery feel.
Okay, okay. So I'm going to just leave that there for now, and then I'll go to this line, do that one, and then I'm going to do this one, and then hit that. Because for these, I might go for even a smaller line, okay? And then I'm already at 12, so maybe I'll go ahead and do this one. You can see how this line's just a bit smaller than the outline. I always recommend your outline being a little stronger than the inside lines. I know I may not be matching your design exactly, but I'm just trying to get the point across. You know what I'm doing. Okay, and then you can continue this around. So now let's do some of these flames. I'm going to make my brush a little smaller now, and go ahead and zoom in with Control plus and Control minus. Now I can freehand without the Shift key and do these flames. But they're still the same width line. They're not tapering. So I'm still in that realm of Art Deco. I'll do a couple of these here. Could go up here and do these and maybe go a little bit smaller and get something like that. You can do this however you want, but we're trying to achieve the look of, you know, having the same width lines, you know, as we go through it. Okay, now my recommendation, as you can see, this makes quick work of things. If you were to do the same thing in Illustrator, for those of you that know Illustrator, you think you could do it that fast? Anybody? I doubt it.
Nope.
Illustrator's great for what it does. You know, it's a great tool, but sometimes it's just not fast enough. All right, so now I want to create this sort of diamond background, and I want to experiment with making this just a solid black line and see what it looks like. So I'm going to start in the center since I know that's where it needs to end. And so I'm going to click here, and then here, and then something in here. And I might have to clean it up a little bit, and then maybe erase out a little if I need to. Now, I'm going to keep that clean as you can. Maybe I need to make my brush a little bit smaller and kind of continue that up inside of there. Fix that a little bit. Okay, that certainly gives it some boldness. Okay, let's do that again with these smaller diamonds. And you could use other tools too. Like if you want to make it, you know, more precise, you know, you could actually go back and use the line tool if you want these to be perfect. You can use whatever tool you want, but this is just a quick one. So we're gonna go here, maybe match the same angle. Try to. Clean these up a little bit. Might take a couple tries, but that's why I like this symmetry, because you only got to do it once, right? Works out very nicely. So this is just one way to do it, but just in a few minutes, I've managed to get most of this done. Now, when you're done, you want to just get rid of the background. So we'll turn that off. And go ahead and turn your sketch off, and we just have this. Okay, you got the artwork in the background. Okay, and what you want to do is flatten the image. Excuse me, don't flatten the image. Collapse all your layers. There's a difference. I'll show you. When I hit Control E, it will collapse all these layers, but I still have my checkerboard clear background, right? If I do it the other way, layer, flatten image, sometimes it'll fill it. You see how it filled it white? We don't want that because we want to put it on a t-shirt, and the t-shirt can be any color we want it to be. So the best thing to do is just collapse all the layers. Like I said, that's Control E. Or if you don't remember the shortcut key, go to layer and hit merge layers, which as you can see says Control E. If you're on a Mac, it'll be Command E. Okay, so we hit Control E. Then the next thing you'd want to do is crop it to the edges of your design, like not quite touching, but as close as you can get. Okay. Otherwise, when you go to upload it, it's going to include all that blank space with the design. You don't want that. So you're going to crop it down to the edges of the design just as much as you can. I know there's supposed to be more down here. You guys get the idea. And then you'll go to File, Save As, and save it as a PNG file. Okay? So that will enable you to have a transparent background, and then we can upload that to the designs. Okay? Grace said no, but that was like 3 minutes ago. What was that for now, Grace? Grace Lindsay?
It was about Illustrator. I was saying no, I can't do it that fast.
Oh, I don't think anybody can. So the things to remember about this, to recap, number one, if you're using the brush tool, you want to make absolutely sure that you're using the hard round that doesn't have any tapering to it. Okay. Then number two, you can use the Symmetry tool if you want. And all you have to do is select which one that you want and then position it into the center of your design and you're good to go, okay? And you can turn it back off when you're done. And then the next thing is you just hold down Shift when you're trying to snap lines and use the brush tool. And then collapse all of your layers, making sure your background layer is turned off, because as you can see, if I collapse all these right now, it would still keep the gray background, and we don't want that either. All right, so make sure you turn everything off except for the final line art, and then collapse them all with Control E, and then save it as a PDF. Crop it and save it as a PDF. Wait, not a PDF, PNG, sorry. PNG.